Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today, we're going to be customizing the Granger 3600LX to look like a police car in Grand Theft Auto Online. So, we're going to hop right into this thing and we're going to start customizing. Alright guys, so starting off we are going to go all the way up with the armor. We are going to be leaving the armor plating off of this thing today though, because it really doesn't fit with the whole idea that we're going for here, so we'll just leave that alone. For the brakes, we will upgrade those all the way, of course. And for the bumpers, we do have front and rear options, and we are going to be adding the black bull bars to the front of this vehicle. Now, as far as the rear bumper goes, we could add the black rear bars or the primary or secondary. However, I don't really feel like they fit with the whole idea of this car, so we're just going to leave them off. Next up, for the engine, all the way up, of course. For the exhaust, we kind of want to keep it with a pretty stock look, so I'm almost thinking of going for the small bore exhaust or something like that. Maybe even the single side exit exhaust. I think we're actually going to go for that one. Next up, for the hood, we can of course add the street hood, vented hood, stripped hood, and then all the carbon options. However, that's not really going to work for us today, so we're just going to leave the hood alone. Now for the lights, I actually am going to be taking this thing to the arena workshop to actually do those, so we'll get to that later. For the livery, we are not going to be putting on any liveries today because it just doesn't really work with this thing. For the mirrors, we will be going for the primary mirrors. For the nose accessories, we can of course add something to the front of this thing. Honestly, I think we will add the plastic wind deflector because it just kind of makes the front end of the car a little bit more interesting looking. And for the plate, we will go yellow on black, of course. We're not going to add the weapons or the proximity mine dropper to this thing. However, we will give it a respray. Now personally, I'm thinking of going for a black steel for this vehicle because it's going to be sort of an undercover vehicle, but sort of not. So we'll go for black steel, I think, for the primary and for the secondary. Next up for this, of course, we can add a roof rack. However, the roof rack doesn't really fit with the build either, so we're going to take that off. Now we are of course going to be adding the roof light bar to this thing because that kind of looks like a police light bar if you really squint. Next up for the side step, we will go for a black clean side step. For the suspension, we will be leaving this thing completely raised up because we do not really want it to be lowered. Actually, on second thought, we will go street suspension just because it's just a little bit better of a lift, honestly. Race transmission, of course, and the turbo is of course on sale this week, so I'm going to be going for that too. Now for the wheels on this vehicle, we will be going for a muscle rim. And the rims we're actually going to be going for are either going to be the old school or the Spooner. I'm personally thinking the Spooner is actually a little bit better, so we're going to go for that one. Now for the wheel color, we are going to paint them black, of course, and for the tires, we will be putting on bulletproof tires, of course. And last but not least, let's put the window tint on because that is going to be important for being a police vehicle. Let's take this thing down to the ground. We are going to go over to the Arena War Workshop, and we're going to add the last thing that we need over there. As you guys can see, so far so good. I think this thing looks pretty police-like, in my opinion at least. Obviously, it could be a little bit better if we actually had proper lights that we could add to this thing, but for right now I do feel like this is doing a pretty decent job. Could be better, like I said, but it could be a lot worse as well. Alright guys, so now we are inside of the arena workshop. The last thing that we have to do here is go in and we actually need to change the headlight color, and I'm really hoping that this is actually going to do the light bar color as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't actually work. So for lights, we got to go into here, and does it work? I can't really tell yet, but we're gonna find out pretty quick. So we can of course go for blue lights on this thing, or we can go for red. I'm not really sure which one we should actually go for. Kind of thinking blue. Let's go for blue lights. That cost me 50 grand to do. So we got blue lights on this thing now. Now we need to see if it actually shines out of the light bar as a blue light. So let's exit the arena really quick and we'll see how this thing does. Okay, let's find out. Is the light bar blue? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it is. That is super sick. I really like that. Okay, so there you have it guys. That is how you make a police car out of the Granger 3600LX in GTA Online. Now I know it's not 100% perfect, however it is pretty much the best fake police car that we can actually make in all of Grand Theft Auto Online right now, which I know is kind of unfortunate, but at least we have this, and honestly it does look pretty realistic. With the light bar on this thing, I feel like you can almost pass off as a cop. Not quite, but pretty darn close. Anyway guys, there you have it. That is how you make a police car in Grand Theft Auto Online, at least as close as we can possibly make it to an actual police car right now. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you learned something, leave a like, if not dislike, subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.